everybody. Welcome back to a little YouTube show. Actually, we're not just on YouTube. We're on BitChute and all that shit.
Yeah.
A little show called Roll with the Troll.
Roll with the Troll.
Roll with the Troll. Today we're talking about our favorite upcoming horror film, Halloween Ends.
Our favorite murderer.
Yeah, our favorite. I don't think it's fair to call Michael Myers a murderer.
It sure is.
You think he's a murderer?
Of course.
Come on.
What else do you call it? He's not out there making friends.
He kills like one night of the year. He has a mostly that's a mostly peaceful year. If you ask the Dems. They call the Dems would call that a mostly peaceful year.
Oh my God.
With just some, you know what I mean? It's a fiery and murderous but mostly peaceful evening for Michael Myers.
He cracked me up.
But anyway, guys, here's a big question.
Oh my
With
God.
all this talk and all this hype about what's going to happen in Halloween Ends, and what's going to happen to make everyone hate this movie so much, because so far every insider is like, oh yeah, the public's not going to like this movie, which kind of makes me wonder if the people creating the movie are saying this, do you really want to put it out this way? Is that really a good move?
Yeah, it's such an odd thing to say.
Like, I do music. If I was like, oh, everyone's going to hate this song, people are going to throw shit at me.
Then why are you doing it?
I kind of just keep it to myself and not put it out. It's just kind of my thought. So I don't know what's going on. I kind of think it's all just, I think they know they've got gold and they just want to, get more PR. Like people say, like, any press is good press.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that, which is really dumb when you think about it. When they say any press is good press, because if everyone's like, hey, this fucking movie sucks, that's not good press.
Right.
That's the opposite of good press. It's very bad press.
Yeah.
People don't say, hey, let's go see the shitty movie. But I think when they're really curious, if you pique their curiosity enough, then maybe people go. You and I are going to see this thing anyway, right?
Yes, we are.
It doesn't matter if everyone says it's awful, we're going to go. And I guarantee we're not going to dislike it to the point that we disliked, like, Last Jedi and Jaws 4 and some of the big
Nothing's going to top that.
No, those are
Jedi.
the worst ever. Yeah. So anyway, but here's the topic for today, right? Will Michael Myers, of course, speak? Because this has come up a little bit. That what if they had him talk? Would that blow Michael, like his whole thing? Would that sort of
I'm blown away by the whole concept.
I got to tell you, a lot of people will not go for that at all. If Michael speaks, they'll say that just destroys him.
That would make their prediction accurate.
Which prediction?
That people aren't going to like it. They aren't going to like what they did with it.
I got to tell you, I don't think this would be the worst thing in the world. It depends how they handle it. If it's spooky, like, think about this for a second, guys.
Ooh.
And we'll talk about a lot more, we'll spin this off in a second, but let's talk about this part first. What if it's spooky? What if he's what if they're like asking him questions towards the end, like during a big final fight, during an intense fight?
Yeah.
And what if Laurie's like, why do you do that? And what if he finally just, in like this creepy, spooky voice, actually gives like little short answers, like 1 or 2 words? Mm-hmm. I actually think that'd be pretty creepy. Yeah. And I don't think it would take away the mystique. And I think in some ways you could actually make that really cool. Now, it could also be awful, because imagine if he just drops the knife and he's like, you know what? I've been a total asshole. I don't know what my problem is. All these years, here I am slashing away at kids. And you know what? Forgive me, please. Listen.
It's 2022. I have to be in touch with my feelings.
Just call me Mikey. I'm really sorry about all this. Like, that would be awful. Like, imagine if they shook hands at the end. And like,
oh yeah.
So I don't want to see that. That would really blow it bad, big time bad. But yeah, him being spooky and just saying a few words and maybe some really weird ending, like, I'm up for it, because we've seen the traditional ending that everybody supposedly wants. Mm-hmm. I'm not convinced of that, but we've seen the play it safe ending multiple times, right?
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, Halloween 2 and Halloween 4 and Halloween 5, I would say, all had relatively kind of play it safe endings, even though a lot of people felt that 4 had a twist. I didn't think it was that big a twist. I really don't think any of those movies felt like they weren't fairly definitive. Even with the whole Jamie Lloyd thing in 4, I still think that ultimately we haven't had a tremendously creative ending yet. And then H2O, very solid ending, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't love it. A lot of people didn't love it, but it was definitive and it was traditional, and it stuck with what you would generally expect from what was supposed to be the ending of a horror franchise. Mm-hmm. So given all that, I'm ready for something weird. I mean, why not? We've seen everything else. Let's do something crazy here.
Well, I mean, they've made this statement often enough now at this point that people aren't going to like what they've done with it. that I think the ending, it could be just about anything not already done. Does that make sense?
No, I didn't follow that.
Yeah, like they've already done, as you said, like the traditional ending, the expected endings and things like that. So whatever is coming is going to be something shocking.
Hey, I got one.
Unexpected.
Here's unexpected. What if he does speak, but it's like in Mandarin or something that you're like, he's a white kid from Ohio and
right.
he speaks another language and like he's really goofy about it too. Animated. That'd be hilarious. That would be fucked up if David Gordon Green, who's got a real comedy background, if he took this in a comedic direction at the end. That would be good. That's never going to happen though. Odds on that are 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah, I can't see that happening.
No, that would just be atrocious. But what else could they do?
We have to envision all kinds of really way out there ideas, though, because they keep saying that, and people aren't going to like it. I can't. It's so hard to conceive. Like, what would be that bad that we're going to hate it that much?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you one thing, that if he were to speak, okay, if that possibility comes true, that would really turn me off to it all, is if he starts explaining like a whole thing that you don't want to have off camera, if he starts explaining it. If he's like, I was born from blah, 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 and then the curse of this, and I'd eventually be like, you get 3 sentences in, just make that another film. You know what I mean? Don't explain too much. And but that, I see, again, I'm so torn because I feel like there's no way they would deliberately give us a very bad ending. Mm-hmm. People aren't even saying that the ending is bad. They're saying the whole movie's bad. They're saying the whole thing is just going to make people mad. Yeah, I'll tell you this. Someone in the comments said this, Craig in the comments, who's awesome, by the way, was saying that in Florida, I think it was, which I didn't know any of this shot in Florida, so I guess I'm a little confused on that, but supposedly these people at a hotel who were like somehow there for some of the shooting or something, they just said that like, you are going to completely hate this. Like, when
really?
They were universally just saying, this is not good. You're not going to like this movie. And again, it's not just the ending itself. It's like the whole movie is supposedly very out there. And the other rumor going around is the movie's extremely woke, which...
You know what? That's funny because I was going to say, I guess the only thing that I really wouldn't want to see then is, I alluded to it earlier, is Michael Myers going all 2022 woke. That would suck.
What if he doesn't know his gender all of a sudden? Is that going to do something ridiculous? If he's like, I'm trying to figure out who I was really born to be. That'll be interesting. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is if he speaks... Let's comment about this, okay? Let's stay on topic. If Michael speaks, what do you think? Is that just a horrible idea? Is it just you don't want to hear that at all? Or do you think, like I was saying a few minutes ago, is there a way for Michael to speak that actually makes this cool? Or at least tolerable? Because again, we got to do something different. You can't keep sticking to... We've ended this franchise so many times. Yeah. We can't keep doing that. We need something unique and different. So I am on board if Michael were to speak. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that. But I don't think it'd be the worst ending as long as it's done in the right way.
I guess it depends on what he says.
What if he says? What if he does this? What if he's like, Lori, I have always hated you. I have hated you from the beginning. You were such an obnoxious, and you were all so caught up in that Ben Tramer. I just hate you. Like,
wow.
Wouldn't that be wild? She's like, how'd you know about Ben Tramer?
Yeah.
This goes back 50 years now. She's like, how long were you stalking me exactly?
Right?
He's the greatest. There's a thought. If Michael does speak, then Lori should not. I would really enjoy a movie where Lori doesn't speak.
A role reversal.
That would be fun. That would be really fun. The other problem with the ending here is that because we've seen her and Michael be in their final moments a couple times now, even if you don't count Halloween 2, if you say Halloween 2 wasn't really so much their finality, okay, you still saw them in a final moment in H2O, and then you saw it again in Resurrection. I know people really don't like Resurrection. I really don't for the most part either, but Resurrection, the scene where he kills her is actually, I think, really dramatic. And it's really weird what happens if you remember, and spoilers, guys, if you haven't seen Halloween Resurrection, you probably don't care to, but when Michael's killing her, she actually kisses him goodbye.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That was oddly, I thought, creative and different, and that took a risk.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I want some risks to be taken. And that one I thought was kind of a risk because in some weird way, she was forgiving him. And well, maybe not forgiving him, but don't you think the little kiss was in some way like, whatever the hell got you to this point, Michael, you're my brother still, and I'll take that to my grave, which is, by the way, right now, scheduled immediately. I don't know. There was something.
See you on the other side.
Yeah, there was something prophetic about that. There was something that I thought was that's smart. That's creative. That's why I love this series. That's why to me, and this will be a whole other video, guys, but that's why to me this series trumps Friday the 13th and Elm Street and all the others. They all have some level of depth to them at one point or another in some way, but this one has way more weight to it, way more gravity to me, from movie to movie, from reboot to reboot than the others do. And so I think that's why we all want it to be handled right now in yet another ending. So anyway, guys, let us know in the comments, what do you think? Should Michael speak? If he does, what should he say? What should he sound like? Is this just a terrible idea in the first place? And do you kind of want to shut Lori up too, like I sort of do sometimes?
Oh my God.
So let us know. Voice of Reason.
Don't forget to hit the like button.
Yeah, please. So if you've hung with us this long, like the channel, like
do
the
it
video.
now before you forget.
Yeah, click the bells, click all that bullshit, subscribe, guys. By the way, YouTube's not thrilled with our behavior, so we are on. We're getting into BitChute now, just barely, and Rumble as well. So if you're into those channels as well, go ahead and look for us there too. Because I'm not real sure, there could be a day where suddenly we're gone, and you're thinking, what happened to, that green guy and his hilarious chick? So just so look for us on those channels. Roll with the Troll, because we'll be slowly building up on there as well. All right, y'all. See you next time.